Hello, my name is Helen Pike, and I'm a writer, a photographer, and I lecture in media studies at Rutgers University. And welcome to this 3-minute tour of my life. I've been writing professionally since 1976. I followed in my father's footsteps because he had been a writer and a photographer at about the same time in his life as I was in mine. What my father and I had in common was a love of telling stories. And we wanted to tell the stories of the people that we had met across our lives and the way in which we had met them. So my father's stories primarily came out of the Connecticut River Valley, and my stories have come out of my travels around the world and a lot of my research that has gone into the 9 books that I've written. Most of those are centered on New Jersey and specifically on the Jersey Shore. So I bring a sense of curiosity and I bring a sense of wanting these stories told forever so that they're not lost to all times. One of the greatest satisfactions that I have in interviewing someone is if I'm able to tell their story that effectively holds up a mirror that says this is their life. And I've taught this to the students I've taught writing to. More recently, I have taken my love of the craft of writing and I've turned it around to teach it to other people so that they can write down their memoirs or they can capture the stories that they have grown up with. And one of those is a book that I recently co-wrote with a retired state senator from New Jersey by the name of Pat Dodd, whose grandmother had been a bootlegger during Prohibition. All the books that I have done have started out with a kernel of a story of who was here and what happened to them. And so one of my books that I did called Asbury Park's Glory Days, The Story of an American Resort, is filled with 60 vignettes or small memoirs from people about what it was like to live, to work, to go to school, to worship, to be part of the racial tapestry of Asbury Park during a rather tumultuous period of civil rights. One of the roles that I have as an editorial consultant is people who approach me and ask for help in how to write their memoirs or how to at least start getting their stories down. And so I have taught memoir writing classes. Usually I do one sequence a year, and I open it up to the people who have asked me for help so that we can do it in a little bit more of a structured setting. I've learned so much from doing this that I want to pass it on and share it with other people. And so I get an opportunity as a writer to do that. Just as my father had been his memory of his own mother had been of the poetry she wrote of her children, and my fondest memory of my father was the bedtime stories he would tell me. And so I sort of feel like there's a connection there that has gone from my grandmother to my father to me, and now I'm turning around and sharing that connection with other people. I have lectured before 200 people on a wide variety of subjects. I've done a number of PowerPoint presentations that are all listed on my website, and I have also done workshops in smaller groups of people that want something specific from me for a task that they are working on. So I'm available for just looking up on the internet. HelenPike.com. Tell me a story, and I'll follow you anywhere.